Have you ever bought gold? What do you think about gold? What do you think about gold?
I think it's good. I think it's good when you're trying to get laid.
Right? But no, not when you're wearing gold. Yeah, come on, baby.
No.
Like, would you buy gold as an investment?
I have gold.
Okay.
Everybody likes to.
You know what? If you have gold, you're dumb as.
Well, I mean,
I actually really like Mark Cuban. Seems to be kind of a sometimes, but in a good way, if that's possible. People get the wrong idea that just because someone makes a lot of money, like, they're a billionaire like Mark, that everything they say about money is correct. And it might give them more credibility, but it doesn't mean they're right on everything. I think Mark Cuban is a very smart, hardworking man, but luck also did come into play, and it almost always does with really rich people. Timing luck was definitely on his side. He made his first small fortune from Micro Solutions, and that was basically a computer consulting service. He ended up selling that for about $6 million, and I believe his profits after taxes were like $2 million. That venture eventually led him to starting AudioNet, which was his broadcast.com, and that was sold to yahoo.com for like $5.7 billion in stocks. He came up with an internet streaming service as the start of the internet boom started. Fantastic timing. Extremely smart concept, but also very lucky to have the timing play out the way it did. It doesn't mean because he's a billionaire that all of his advice is good. For example, there's tons of very rich people that have been saying how stupid Bitcoin is for a very long time, yet Bitcoin continues to outperform almost all other assets over the long haul with profitability. And more of these very rich people are changing their minds each and every day. And then the ETF approval and the upcoming halving is likely going to send Bitcoin to the moon, but that's a topic for another day. We are here to talk about how Mark Cuban thinks you're dumb as if you invest in gold. This century, gold has actually outperformed the most common go-to investments. I'll show you a chart on that shortly, but first, quick reminder, make sure you subscribe. We would love to have you as a part of the Tag Economy crew. Let's get back to this conversation about gold.
It's a small part. It's like a hedge against everything else.
It's a hedgement against everything, but
yes, it is. It's would I be all in gold? No.
No, but it's not a hedge against anything, right? What it is a store of value, and you don't own the physical gold, do you?
No, of course. Well, I don't. Who the knows? What I know is that it never goes away. It's always worth something. You can always sell it.
Just like Bitcoin. Gold is a store of value, and so is Bitcoin.
That is an apt analogy.
Because you don't hold the gold.
But the world is not run by gold.
No. It's not, and it's not run by Bitcoin either.
Okay, so here are a few things. What do you mean that you don't actually hold your gold? You sure can. I'm holding my gold right here. It seems to be just fine. I'm holding my gold right here, whether it's coin or a bar. I'm holding it. These look pretty physical to me. Pretty sure I'm holding it. And yes, I have Bitcoin too. A lot of Bitcoin and altcoins on top of that. I just don't understand the narrative of gold versus Bitcoin or gold or Bitcoin. How about both? Why don't you get both? Too many people look at these two assets as enemies when they're brothers. They both fight the corrupt government issuing fiat currency that we all know today. There's a reason that I invest in both. I invest in gold because it's proven. It's been around for thousands of years now. It has never gone to zero, and it consistently gives good returns. And actually, we might as well go to that chart that I was talking about earlier. As you can see from this chart, gold has outperformed both the S&P 500 and bonds by a pretty good margin this century. And by no surprise, gold has kicked the living out of the US dollar. So, you're dumb as if you buy gold, yet this century, it has outperformed the assets that 95% of investors go with. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So for me, precious metals are like my insurance policy investment. They've been around for a long time, they have a great history, and they still give good returns. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is just a totally different beast. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are a whole lot riskier and more volatile, but they have the potential for massive returns. Although they have only been around for about 15 years or so, so I'm not personally comfortable putting a large portion of my portfolio into crypto yet. And it really just depends on how much of a risk taker are you. And I think it also just depends on what is your current financial situation. Personally, I allocate about 5 to 20% into crypto, but the whole narrative of Bitcoin versus gold to me is just stupid. They are two totally different assets, but they are in the same fight against corrupt fiat currency. And I personally, I love both of them. So anyways, let's check out another part of the video.
Hook a currency to what you can find in the ground.
But you and your ownership, you don't own the gold bar. And if everything went to hell in a handbasket and you had a gold bar, you know what would happen? Someone would beat the out of you or kill you and take your gold bar.
They
then
could use the bar to hit me.
To hit somebody, and that's it. You're not gonna. What are you gonna shave a little piece of gold so someone waves
No,
it?
I mean, look.
It's
I mean,
useless.
the idea that currency is a state of mind. This is in, by the way, Yuval Harari's great book *Sapiens* about humans are different than apes.
So Bill says it's crazy to hook a currency to what you find in the ground. And that kind of shows that he doesn't know much about the history of money and what makes good money. Because this is actually exactly what makes gold such a perfect use for money. It's durable, it's malleable, it's scarce, it's divisible, it's portable. There's nothing else that works better for money than gold because of these things. So it's definitely not crazy to hook a currency to what you can find in the ground, and actually, it's pretty practical. Mark's argument that someone will just beat you up and take your gold from you is just stupid. The same could be said for any asset that will be valuable in this situation, like food, housing, weapons, and no, you're not going to just shave your gold bar. That's why there's fractional gold. That's why I have some 1/10 ounce coins. That's why I have some 1 gram bars and some 2 gram bars like this. I actually meant to grab my 1 gram bar, but I grabbed my 2 gram bar. So Mark, you genius dummy, you don't have to shave your gold bar. No, look, I like both of these guys, but it's very obvious that Bill has never studied the history of money. And I don't think Mark gave horrible advice throughout the interview, but you need to understand that a billionaire has totally different opportunities than your average person or even your millionaires and your multimillionaires. So maybe gold is a dumb investment for Mark. Maybe. But we just saw how gold has outperformed 2 of the most popular investment assets in the S&P 500 and bonds. And those are the 2 assets that typically your financial advisor is going to push you towards. But they'll never mention gold, which outperformed both. And they're not going to mention Bitcoin either. Actually, they may start mentioning Bitcoin because they can likely start profiting off that now with ETF approval. So no, you're not dumb as if you invest in gold. Actually, if you ask me, I think you're pretty smart if you are investing a portion of your portfolio in gold and precious metals. Investing is all about diversity. For me, it's smaller percentages in the very risky assets like crypto, but these assets can also hit very big. And then you have larger percentages in safer and proven assets like gold, real estate, and stocks. And of course, assets like CDs definitely have their time and place, and I do have a good bit of those right now. All right, so I want to hear from you. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is it dumb to invest in gold? I want to know your thoughts. Give me a comment below. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, or give me a thumbs down if it sucked. Since you're now a subscriber, I'll see you in the next video.